Level up, level up. Never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, level up. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, level up. Never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. I wanna ball. Waking up meant that he gave me a chance and I'm rolling the dice. I do it all. Living like I'm trying to go for the platinum trophy in life. Who can you call? Really nobody, so you should just follow me on your device. And know if she chilling with me, then it's bound to be chemical X and the sugar and spice. Game in the system, but game is the hobby. I'm probably cocky, but hot as wasabi. I mean, if it's beef, then you know where to find me. My niggas is ready and so is my body. You should be running and telling your posse and what's in the speakers and what's in your potty. And she trying to kick it, but this ain't karate. Just keep that shit down while I'm watching Tsunami. I ain't saying I'm a super nerd, but I told you when we got involved, my idea of a perfect date is a PlayStation and some alcohol. I was role playing on GTA. I'm a good guy, but I got it all. If the world should end, be the first to leave, but the last of us acting naughty, dog. Level up, level up. Never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Level up, level up. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough. Never lose, should've had better luck. I'ma wake 'em up from a slumber. Money ain't nothing but a thing, and the level ain't nothing but a number. Life ain't nothing but a game. Level up, level up. Never lose, should've had better luck. Tryna see a check, I'ma run it up. Yeah, I do a lot, still ain't done enough.
What's going on, people? Fame Entertainment here from LevelOneGaming.com. And congratulations, you guys have leveled up to 162. This is the Double XP podcast. Listen, Nintendo has decided to give themselves a massive L. State of the Play is tomorrow. Looks like it's going to be headlined by Xbox Game Studio. Weird times you live in. But we're going to start with the introductions. The man who's always in your DMs. The man that's always in your emails. If he got something to say, he wants you to hear him out. The communications director, LevelOneGaming.com, Baron J67. What's going on, Chief?
Hello, folks. I'm here and accounted for present. And I just want to say to all those who I don't properly make schedules with, I apologize. And I will do better. I will always do better. There's progress. And then, sponsorships can go here. We are always looking for sponsor partnerships. I'll sell out for a t-shirt. I'll wear it, and then you guys can pay us. All that fun stuff.
Basically, what he's saying is Baron will do anything for a buck. Some strange. No, I'm playing. Next up. Next up, the man with the clamps. Citizen Snips. He's muted.
Oh, he's muted. Yes! We got him, folks. We did it, Joe.
If I wasn't muted to start the show, I was just testing y'all.
Oh, okay.
I had to get back into old habits after I missed last week. So, cool to be here, man. Good to be with you, degenerates, again. We got a guest who Baron didn't tell us was coming until like 5 minutes ago. Thanks, Baron. But no, it's cool. We got there's not really any good news in gaming, but there's some funny news. Thanks to Nintendo and Sony, so it should be a good show. We'll have some interesting things to talk about, definitely.
Next up, DALLAZ.
He unmuted.
Man,
Nom had to be there.
What's going on, D?
At this point, I can't even tell who wins or loses. I just try to say it like right at the same time that you say it, but I'm just like, I'm not like Eminem with the like nowadays. Everybody want to talk like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move the lips. Like I can't really, not the rapper I used to be. But what's up, y'all, man? Like, hey, y'all. I mean, hey, chat. I mean, I see Flames in here. I see Hustle in here. I see Chocolate in here. So, it's gonna be a fun time. I already know since Fame said what he said earlier that the memes is about to be a little sweet and sour spicy. So, let's get it. Let's go.
And we do have a guest tonight, and since Baron decides that he will be unprofessional the one time in his career Level 1 game and make the mistake, I will leave it up to him to introduce our guest for this evening.
The legend. Carrying the indigenous community on his back across the streaming community. Strong, resilient, and indigenous. Asa, the legend, Green River of Borderline Entertainment. This dude is seriously a godsend. I'm glad I came across him on the Twitter space, the Twitters as the older folks call it. He's actually, you know, we did a podcast, Living Indigenous and Indigenous in Gaming, and we met a bunch of dope indigenous content creators there. But it also actually helped me to more publicly, especially on the gaming space, and the social media and content creating space, embrace who I am, you know, as a Desert Queen, Native American. It's something I often don't talk about here within this space because, you know, it's, you know, me also being black, it's a thing of trying to prove who I am. Well, with his help, I no longer feel the need to prove who I am. It is who I am. And I just want to publicly say thank you, Asa, for holding the forum that you do. And it's a real positive thing that the community as a whole needs, especially during what's going on now. Well, it's not what's going on now, it's what's being discovered. Yeah. And I know we're not here to talk too much about that, but just thank you so much, man. And Asa Green River.
I'm gonna go now. That was I mean, thank you, dude. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. I feel like I've just eaten a giant piece of humble pie right now because I feel like I'm just in good graces with you all. I feel like you hyped me up too much. Now I'm really, typically I don't get nervous, but now I'm a little bit mumble mouth. Should I do an introduction?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Please tell us about yourself.
I'm starting to call myself the man who does too much. So I do a whole bunch of things within the gaming space. So I'm a community manager for an indie dev, indie team. I also work in the internet spaces with TakeThis.org, with Feminist Frequency and the Games Harassment Hotline. I create content with my Borderline family, Borderline Entertainment, and then get the guests with amazing people like you all. And so I'm all over the place. But in a nutshell, that's what I do.
We got a comment in the chat really fast. Snips, why you look different?
I think you got a haircut.
New frames, new glasses.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I got new glasses.
Look at Snips all handsomer and stuff.
Yeah, man. All you gotta do is like spend money on things and make you look pretty.
Nah,
money does cure quite a few problems.
It'll make you look better even if you don't spend it. It's true. Just having it, people think you're more attractive. That's how it works. I wish I had more. I'd be a lot prettier. I had a long way to go.
Hey, man.
Thanks for noticing, chat.
There's always things you can do to make money. Baron has an OnlyFans. He sells feet pictures. You know,
oh, man.
You could always.
Baron, can you?
You don't make much money, do you?
You know what? My marketing. My marketing skills aren't there yet. I guess people don't want to see toes playing games. So
Lord have mercy.
I mean, I think they do. They just maybe don't want to see your toes playing games.
First off, my toes are beautiful to someone. Somebody out there is gonna love them.
Somewhere.
You know, whenever somebody's got to say yeah to somebody, that means they have to try and find that somebody.
It's a big place out there. It's billions.
That means, you know, they probably not, you know, in your contacts.
Maybe I should just say my toes are like ponies, like PlayStation fanboys or something. I don't know.
All right, now listen, you're gonna rile folks up. You're gonna rile folks up, and then I'm gonna be getting attacked on Twitter because I run an anti-PlayStation podcast. Wow.
Somebody on the other end of their computer right now shaking their fist like, why I order?
Here's the thing about it is we are neither anti-play. We're anti every console when they do something stupid and we can make fun of them for it. That's what we are. When you do something dumb and we can make fun of you, then
because I own them all.
I thought this was the Game Pass podcast.
We do love
that. Actually sounds.
Well, we do love some Game Pass.
You know,
we love some Game Pass.
I was hoping
Game Pass hasn't done anything stupid yet. Game Pass is providing good value. So
facts.
I support things that provide good value.
I was hoping it was going to be on the Switch.
Headphones?
Then yeah.
Oh, see? How do you like
PlayStation headphones? Should I take them off?
Yeah.
No.
I'm in the wrong place right now?
They gotta go.
They're pretty cool.
They're super comfy.
Yeah. Look, I guess. Hey, I was honestly hoping the Switch would get some form of Game Pass, like a Game Pass Lite aspect added to it.
You know what?
I still think we're gonna get it in the future.
I think.
Did y'all know
Go ahead.
when you have on? Did y'all know when you have on PlayStation headphones, all the Sony slander filters in the praise?
That makes
fact,
sense.
Little known fact.
So if I say PlayStation is shite, it's gonna say "I love you, PlayStation" in his ear.
He heard PlayStation for shit.
Oh, it's the shit. Oh, wow.
Is the best. That's what I just.
That's good to know. How much them cost?
These were 80.
I'm gonna get me some of
Sounds
them.
like half a year Game Pass. No, let me see.
Listen, we're not gonna do the Game Pass commercials for Microsoft, but you know what? Let's go ahead and since Nintendo was brought up, let's go ahead and talk Nintendo, right? Because I know a lot of people gonna come for the headline that I put, which isn't a lie. But let's talk about the Switch because I think it's high time. I get it. Nintendo saved gaming back in the day, and Nintendo was this, and Nintendo was that. It's high time we start handing Nintendo its well-deserved L's. Okay, yeah, the OLED, the L in OLED stands for loss. This is terrible. Yeah, we deserved, or we were, and it's our own fault. We thought we was getting that 4K whatever console, right? This ain't more powerful console. No, my guy, that's not what we got. We got a prettier looking screen on a weaker device, which won't make my gaming experience no better. You know what I do with my Switch every day? Nothing, because I don't play it, because I'm not going to go back and play Zelda again. I'm not going to pay $60 again. All Nintendo games are overly priced. You know how much Zelda Breath of the Wild is today? $60.
When did that game come out, Fame?
3 years ago.
4 years ago, right? The Switch right now, the Switch right now is $300, if I'm not mistaken. The OG, the docked. The OLED is $350, right? And it has a built-in. Bro, I got a meme for this, bro. Somewhere, it has a built. Go ahead, bro. I'm upset.
Well, let me tell you, the 4K aspect that we were hoping for, it was replaced with the Ethernet.
Look,
like that's.
Look, dude, this is what happened. For storage and that look at the meme. You see it.
Let me see. Oh Lord.
You see it. Now tell me I'm lying. You see it. For $350, I could get me an S with Game Pass, which has for $99 a month, you can get over 100 games, or right now you can get 3 months for $1. I'm just saying. I'm just being honest, bro, and I'm gonna let y'all talk. But I'm just saying, at this point, you can't even drop. And I'm not surprised, right? How many variations of the 2DS or 3DS that we get? 17,000. They gave us a variation 11 times.
I think it's because of that reason we are gonna get more Switches. Like, if Nintendo does anything, it is continue to put out iteration after iteration after iteration. This right now is like the 3DS and the 3DS XL. It's just it, but bigger. It's not anything different. We're gonna get the new Nintendo Switch. I feel like because that's what everybody wants and needs right now. Like, they do get the L because that's what they need right now, but Nintendo is also like very traditional, so that's just like not what they had in mind, and they're not willing to pivot. Like you said, their Breath of the Wild is still $60. They're not willing to pivot. So I feel like we are going to get that 4K, that beefed up Switch, but it's not going to be until years down the road because they have the roadmap, and that's what they're going to stick to. Because that's just the way that Nintendo does their thing.
Let me tell you, my dream Nintendo Switch has a solar power panel on it. Like if it's not docked, I can play like an old calculator, like I have one right here. It has a little solar strip and get some power going. And it the battery life. That's the biggest issue for me, is the battery life. It's not abysmal, but you couldn't pay me to upgrade to the new Switch knowing that the battery really didn't change. Like you couldn't pay me. That's scary because all that is it's the what enhanced audio and a bigger screen sounds like more power being used. I wonder somebody's gonna do a test and I'm looking forward to seeing it. The battery life between the classic Switch and the new one. Like that's what I'm looking forward to. Some type of tech reviewer out there.
And I'm not this big. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was being funny. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying I'm not this big Nintendo hater, whatever the case may be. I think we get what we don't ask for, but what we pay for. People are gonna go out stupidly thinking that this is gonna make their games look or run that much better, and it's not. It's gonna be an insignificant. It's not necessarily better than what we got with the Vita. That screen. And it might even, you know what I'm saying? It's not even that much better than the Vita. And
It was pretty though.
And we gave the Vita hell. The Vita died unnecessarily. And I'm someone who bought 3 and sold all 3 because it really wasn't for me. But we gave it hell, and we gave it, and we beat it to the ground. But with Nintendo, it's okay. I think we've let Nintendo run amok long enough because by the time they give us something that's truly next gen as far as what we can see on the screen, we're going to be on the PS6 or the PS5 Pro, and then that's going to be insignificant again, in my opinion.
I think we spoke with our money with the Wii U.
That's true.
And they killed that sucker real quick, and then started porting its entire library over to the Switch. Switch is like the best-selling console, so there's no way that any sort of boycott or anybody not paying for something like they're rolling in money. They don't. They could have nobody buy this OLED unit, and they could just pump them out, and they'll still be fine. Yep. I also will probably buy one.
Ace.
Because I had a launch Switch. It's gotten beaten up. It's seen better days. So I just need a fresh unit. You know, it's like with my Vita, I got the LCD over the OLED, and the OLED did take more battery, life out of my Vita, but it looked a lot better than my LCD Vita does now, which is a bummer.
Probably was gonna run hotter too. Now that I think about it, because the Switch would get hot.
Switch gets hot.
Switch gets hot. You know what actually one thing that I'm worried about, and I wrote about it in the my little hate piece, I guess. It was I'm worried about the stand. We already know the issues with the Joy-Con. Like, what's that stand? What's the lifespan on that stand? And how, when will all of a sudden you'll be walking around and you'll see the stand slapping back and forth on people's switches like on an old Scion trunk? Like when are we gonna get to that point? Because it's a possibility. And then the Joy-Cons, they haven't even addressed the Joy-Con issue. I wonder if they can't even really make a new design because of the lawsuit stuff. But I don't know. Like who knows? I don't know.
Would those Joy-Cons still drift?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Joy-Con Tokyo Drift.
Did they ever fix that issue? Like, do I need to buy the new? And they're gonna advertise this is the new Joy-Con, $80 a side. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because the drift thing is still an issue for people, and like now you're giving us a new console, but we need new Joy-Cons. I was like, and
they would get away with it.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's Nintendo, baby.
If I tried to sell you a car and the wheel fell off when you drove it home, so you came back to me and said, I need some help with this car, the wheel fell off. There's clearly something wrong with the manufacturing process. And I said, no problem. Here's car 2.0. You're going to have to pay again. And then when you drive it home, the wheel falls off again. I don't understand the logic behind this.
I'm going to stop going to the dealership.
But we added an extra 2 inches of legroom in the back.
You got more trunk space.
The whole thing is completely unnecessary to me. Even if the only thing a Nintendo fan should hope is that they're holding out because what will actually be an upgraded Switch is not ready yet, and it's going to come later, or they don't plan to release it yet. So they're trying to bide time with this, but it doesn't make any sense to me.
It doesn't make
They're
any
still
sense.
selling the regular. Yeah,
Yeah,
that either.
six.
And
This
the
Switch is
OLED
not
one definitely
reproducing.
won't, that's for sure. The OLED Switch will not get you laid. You can take that to the bank. I don't understand when your normal. It's not like your normal Switch stopped selling. People are still paying $300 for it if they want to switch. I don't understand the purpose of this at all. When all you're giving me is a brighter screen, an Ethernet port on a dock, which my Switch has never seen the dock since I took it out of the box. And then what was the enhanced audio? I don't even know what that means. That sounds like some fluff.
That means
To me,
the
that
speakers
dock
get
is
louder.
huge. Oh, yeah.
It's completely irrelevant to me. It makes absolute no sense whatsoever. Yeah, mine's sitting behind my TV after I unboxed it. I never even plugged it in. It's
Mine
sitting
still
right
got
there.
the factory sealed. The
Because to
tape.
me the
You
Switch
want
is
to ship it to me? I need a new one.
Mine stays in this
okay.
dock. Like I don't take it out to play
I
it.
dock all the time.
And by the way, I'm gonna give myself an L because I was supposed to put Baron's face over the feet guy in this meme, and I forgot to do it.
Oh, Lord.
And I completely forgot to do it. But my bad. Go ahead, B.
You know what? My number, like, as we know, Nintendo gets away with bloody murder. They
That reminds me. I do want to say this because I know at this point Hugger would usually say Nintendo saved gaming.
true.
Okay, they saved gaming at that point in time. There's no denying that. I don't think we could say that gaming wouldn't exist if it not for them. It might be different, but we would still have video games and we'd still have high-end hardware and we'd still be playing them. But my thing is, so Baron, let's say you're in a tough spot. You need my help, right? I give you a ride somewhere, or I help you out of a jam. After I do that, how many times can I walk up and slap you in the face before you get mad? Like maybe once you'll be like, oh, haha, that's okay.
Funny.
You helped me out that one time. The second time you'd be like, ah, man, I know, like I owe you one, but hang on, bro, that's kind of a bit much. And then I'm thinking by about the third time, you'd probably throw hands and knock me out, and rightfully so. Doing one good thing a long time ago does not excuse repeated poor behavior with regards to your customers.
But
True.
like Asa was saying, they got money because people buy it. So as long as people are buying it, what's the point of changing it?
Exactly. Yeah, they're not going to change on their own, but
I don't
I'm hoping
think
people
they'll
will
change.
wisen up
I
eventually.
mean, I bought Mega Man 2. Let's see, my Wii my 3DS. I bought Mega Man 2 like 3 or 4 times because I just want to keep playing it on whatever current like device that I'm on. Nintendo has like they're never going to do a smart delivery. They're just not going to do it.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Because they know that people like me are just going to keep on buying stuff over and over and over.
They know that you're part of the problem.
I'm waiting for them to just re-release like all of their Nintendo 64 games. Because
Yeah.
there's a lot I would buy.
Good luck with that.
Like, there's a couple RPGs
we
on
are
there I pick
dead.
up.
Honestly,
Are we
you know
dead?
What the stream look like?
You know what I really hope
The
happens?
stream dead?
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
It's
Uh-oh.
according to
Technical.
OBS, we're up and running perfectly fine.
Okay, we.
It says an
back.
error occurred. Oh.
Y'all sure that's us?
It's probably just me.
Yeah.
I know I got Spectrum. They don't like me.
It was us, but if you refresh, we back.
That's weird.
Oh, we are bad.
Chat, if you can hear us, refresh.
Oh,
That's-
y'all good? Thanks, Hustle. It was me, dude. I know it was
It looks
Spectrum.
fine for me.
I definitely wronged them somewhere in my life.
I'm gonna say because according to OBS, we running fine. But now that I'm trying to open it up on my own, it's
definitely
oh there we
wronged
go.
them somewhere.
Man, quit scaring me, bro.
I say it's good. I mean, because it went
blame
out for
Mesa.
me, and it apparently went out for Baron too, because Spectrum hates us both.
I blame Mesa.
Well, it's not that Spectrum hates y'all.
That's fair.
Spectrum just sucks.
Spectrum is trash, bro. Spectrum is trash. Like they one of the
Yeah.
worst providers, but the problem is they monopolize
They're like the
almost
only-
every area.
Yeah.
And you got, and for me, it's either them or AT&T. And AT&T doesn't offer fiber where I live, so the fastest speeds I can get is with Spectrum. But they come out when they want to, and they fix things in the worst possible way. And you usually have an outage for 3 or 4 days, and that would really give you no money back for the time that you was down. Like when I had upload speeds of 2 for 2 months. It's terrible.
And Spectrum, if you wanted to go ahead and load our pockets with money, we'll do a few videos. Right here.
You see, we were bashing on Nintendo, and now we divert to Spectrum because shitty companies should get shitty feedback. They suck.
Shitty companies should get roasted.
They should.
Bro, could you imagine if they did a roast of like companies like the way they do, like, oh, bro,
let it be
roast.
Let it be hosted by Wendy's.
Oh,
ooh, yes.
Tell me you wouldn't watch it.
Yes.
Hey, I'd watch it, bro. I would watch it. And then you got, bro.
Sorry, I'll wait till Baron next stream and do them like we did Abby.
You guys want to hear? You guys want to hear? Oh,
do we want to hear what?
Want to see a dead body?
Snips broken.
Do you want to hear my dream scenario for Nintendo?
Yes, let's hear
it. And it'll never happen, but I can dream. That's why it's a dream. They outsource their hardware design and production to somebody like Asus, or some PC part manufacturer that has all of the things readily available, and they assemble high quality products on the regular.
All right, something's going on, y'all.
Focus on
something's
going out.
Something's wrong. And I promise you that because on my end, OBS is running perfect. Like I have no issues with my stream, according to OBS.
Is YouTube going down? Let me check Twitter.
I mean, maybe it is Spectrum because
Twitter will let you know.
Whose turn is it for? I think it's my turn for us to blame, so I guess it's my fault.
Yeah, it was Snips.
It could be.
Why
YouTube.
is
Sometimes
Caillou
when it's
all muscly with Caillou face boobs? I don't understand.
Mm-hmm. And that's why we hate fame.
I'm upset. And because literally, I'm looking. I have I'm all green, running at 8,000. I got no issues on my end, and I wonder if it's YouTube.
Could just be a browser issue on their end.
Yeah, because it's the crazy
sometimes.
thing. Yeah,
like
it's
Flameser
only on there.
Because Flameser say he can hear just fine. Scott, I'm getting a lot of buffering for you guys. Snips is talking about a Nintendo Dream scenario. So people getting buffering. Flames said he can hear us. Hustle said it died. I'm not really sure what's going on. Like I want to keep the show going, but I hate to put out bad productions.
It says troubleshoot video streaming issues. An error has occurred. I'm gonna Google it.
So Google it. Sorry. So apparently we're back for hopefully everyone. I hope. Snips, continue.
Oh yeah, so I don't know how much we missed, so I'll recap a bit. My dream scenario for Nintendo that will never ever happen is that they outsource their hardware manufacturing and design to some company like Asus or MSI, somebody that makes high quality laptops or other gaming peripherals and PC parts, and then lets them do the console part, and they just focus on maintaining their studios and making cool games, because they do make cool games. And then they can keep charging $60 for their games 10 years after they come out. That's fine. But give me a good quality piece of hardware to play them on. That's what I want. That's my dream.
Games that can stand up to other modern games, or like other companies' modern games, like on a technical level.
You know
what? It doesn't even need to be that. Like, I don't need them to compete at the cutting edge of hardware.
No.
But I'm tired of Joy-Con drift. I'm tired of feeling like the hardware is not just one generation back, but 2, 3, 4 generations back. I don't want my cell phone to be able to have better hardware specs than my handheld or my console. That's where I'm at with Nintendo. That's what frustrates me. Especially when you're still paying for it.
Oh, go ahead.
No, so me personally, I don't ever really need Nintendo like to be this big, powerful juggernaut necessarily, right? As far as I need games that look like The Last of Us 2 on Nintendo. I don't necessarily need that from Nintendo. But at some point, I need something to look like graphically really good on this console. Like I need that at some point. The games typically run great. Nintendo first party games typically run great. They typically play great. They're typically critically acclaimed, high scores on Metacritic. That upcoming Pokemon game, I'm all over it. I'll be here day one. That'll be the first time my Switch get used in a long time. So I don't necessarily need them to have the Last of Us 2 graphically type game on the console, but man, sometimes I would never play. I know a lot of people playing tried Apex Legends when it dropped on the Switch. You got to be a plumb fool to think that's acceptable to game on in 2021.
Damn, Demi, he called you a plumb fool.
If you want,
Jimmy was playing it.
Either it's
over.
one of two things: either have the hardware that supports porting those games over, or just don't port those games over. Like you didn't need Apex Legends on Switch. Switch is doing fine with the library that it has. Stop trying to shoehorn games that you have to dumb down tremendously just so they barely run something. Doesn't make sense to me.
And then it was crossplay as well. Could you imagine like having a good run and then all of a sudden a heavy frame drops because somebody on the Switch ran past you?
He's the duo you're counting on to revive him.
It's the new lag switching. It's the new lag switching is running a Switch while you're playing crossplay. Like, dude, that like it's overall, like right now I'm playing Star Renegade. I'm playing Star Renegade on Switch, and I'm bouncing back and forth between that and I believe it's called My Friend Ringo, which is like a Kunio series playoff or a River City Ransom type game, like the full deep adventure. It's a really dope game. What bothers me about the Switch is the fact that Nintendo doesn't truly tap into all the games that it can. Whether it's fully just full pricing and releasing the full catalog and porting everything over. Whether it's reaching out to companies like Chucklefish, like you got Terraria on there, why don't you have Starbound? There's a bunch of games that would be perfect on Switch that are not. And it kills me that they don't even have it's almost like there's no drive or no urge to go because they don't have to. I mean, hell, they're charging, what was it, $10 for a calculator and people are buying it. Like these things, they're real. Like, and I just look, I bought a Switch. I have a Switch. I have a lot of games on there. Everything from Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. The Witcher 3 for the third time. It's Skyrim for the 6th time. I beat the main story of Skyrim finally.
Stop buying Skyrim.
Like,
stop buying it, people. Stop it.
Oh, it is on Switch. Okay.
Bro, they come out with the current gen, I want to say next gen, when they come out with the current gen look, I got it too, and I got the physical as well.
I got it on PS4, PS5, Switch.
Oh, okay.
Nokia Engage.
I see it now. We're down.
The brick phone.
We're down.
I see it now.
I can see
this video isn't available in selected quality. Please try again later.
It says it's running for me. I'm watching.
All right.
That is so creepy that it's running for some, and like for me, it's
me too.
It's something weird going on.
Let's keep going.
All right.
I took the blame last time, so whose fault is it this time?
It's my fault.
I think the issue for some reason it's not letting us run in 1080p. Because it's defaulting to 720. I take it to 1080, and all of a sudden it said, "Nope, you can't watch it here." It's a YouTube issue.
Throttle?
This is a YouTube issue. It's definitely not us. That's good to know.
480.
Hell no.
Let's do the 160 guy. Let's go for broke. Let's give him the 8-bit version.
We don't play it at. There's like 1080p, 720p, and then Nintendo Switch. Like we don't play at that low resolution.
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Enough, though, it might actually look good. Let's lower that quality as much as we can.
Bro, I'm telling you, we should just run it at Pixel Edition. Call it a Pixel stream. 32-bit.
For me, that's the sweet spot for Switch games. Is anything that's a pixel art game.
Oh, Renegade, bro.
Heck yeah.
Octopath Traveler.
I'm mad. I just found out Legend of Mana, the remaster, which I bought for
that
my
too.
PlayStation, is on Switch, and I was like, dang, if I would have known, I probably would have bought it on Switch.
And what was that other series they just remastered? Grandia. I just bought that series. I just bought the Ives series or Ease. I don't know how to say it.
Yeast.
Yeast.
Infection. My bad.
Yep, I bought that series, Grandia. I really wish. What is that dang game series called? Three Kingdoms. I always forget the name. Not Fire Emblem. Is it Fire Emblem?
It's Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
Fire Emblem?
Is it Fire
Three
Emblem?
Houses?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I wish Fire Emblem would go back to like the 32-bit style. I do not. That's one thing I hate about the Switch. I don't like the chibi 3D like figures. Like even with like Bravely Default.
I was just about to say.
hate that with a passion. I hate it. It's enough to make me like not want to play a game. Like as silly as that sounds, it's enough. Like I'm like, just give
like
me
the tiny head. I'm like tiny body. Big
no
head thing.
with the little like freaking line eyeballs, and then like I don't.
Oh, did you know what game really creeps me out?
Which one?
Bravely Default.
Yeah, that's
Bravely
yeah.
Default 2. That character design style creeps me out. They look like creepy little puppets. I just can't do it.
Thank you. They look
I
like
played the
murder
demo
puppets
and
out of a
I was
horror
like,
movie.
I'm uncomfortable. I'm uninstalling this.
Bro,
It's probably
I
a cool
have
game.
it. I tried. I got through like 2 chapters, unlocked like cool stuff, and then I was just like, "This is ugly. I can't do it."
Yeah, bothers me.
And I'm not a graphics junkie. I'm not the person who like. That's probably the only time where I just draw a line.
Says the guy.
Yeah,
the guy who bought a Series X because he said he's not a plebe playing on regular Xbox no more, and he's better than that. That's what you said to me.
First off,
Hey,
what I said was my the load time was a game changer. I didn't realize how much I was holding people back I was gaming with. I'm talking mess like, what do I need a Series X for? Like and then I get it, and it's like how have I been like breathing? How have I been living? How have I've been online gaming? What do you mean I haven't had quick resume this whole time? But once again, Microsoft don't pay us, and they need to, because we're just talking about the good things. And the one thing I will say is I was a little bummed out that they didn't have a overhaul for their home screen. For some reason, whenever I buy a new console, I do expect an overhaul for my home screen.
How the UI looks, yeah.
Yeah, I need a different UI just to make me feel like it. Even though I get the whole seamless transition, because it really was just plug. I didn't even really swap. I didn't swap my cords, like, because I already had, good Ethernet cord and all that other stuff. I just literally unplugged, moved my 1S, and then moved stuff around because that Series X is big as hell, and put the Series X in there and just plugged it right back in. It was a hot swap, and then I did the install from my phone. It was all very easy. I will give them that, but I do expect a different UI. That's nitpick.
The thing with Xbox's UI though, Baron, is that how it looks now is not how it's going to look a year from now. Like that, it changes so much. Like they're constantly updating that UI.
True.
Do you think it'll change much more than it is now? Because they had a few iterations with the Xbox One, but they were never like that drastic. Like they weren't those big of changes. Like the 360 was like huge, like sweeping changes.
Yes.
I feel like once they hit the Xbox One, they kind of like they were very small incremental changes.
Well, when the Xbox One first dropped, if you really that thing was terrible. The original Xbox One UI was bad. Like I'm getting stupid errors again. And I don't know if I'm gonna keep going for people who can possibly still hear us.
It's consistent over here.
Hey, as long as it's still reading, it's green. Let's go.
Like, you know what I think it is? I think because this time I don't actually have a plate during the podcast and I'm not eating my fat ass life away. Like all of a sudden YouTube is mad. It fears change. So I get it.
But Asa, I don't expect a big overhaul anymore. I expect tweaks here and there. I'm so distracted about his stream being messed up, and I apologize about that. But I don't expect no more big overhaul changes. But I do expect for there to be something different about it within the next year, maybe year and a half. I personally took my consoles out of the alpha and beta stuff because people, That's getting those new features early is not worth it, especially for your Series X. If you still got an Xbox One, because I still have,
Damn near break mine.
Yeah,
I
let them
still
figure
have
out how to
my,
make it work first.
I still have my One S, I have my OG, and I have my NBA 2K white Xbox One X. Those I will let be in preview programs. My Series X, no sir, because them jokers, it's not worth it. It ain't worth it, people. Don't do it.
I would have party issues so bad. Like it would be to a point to where I couldn't join other people's party chats. I'd have to invite people to mine. Or I would have to go and start my own game and then invite people to my game. They couldn't invite me. I'd be grayed out. I had a lot of issues with the preview program. A lot of cool stuff too, but I had a lot of issues.
Y'all know Xbox gonna dock your pay if you keep talking about it.
Hey, for those watching, really quick. I'm sorry. For those watching, this is definitely a YouTube issue. I'm almost certain because I have it up on my phone as well, and I'm not having issues. Maybe take it down to 720p. I started on my PC. On my phone, I'm running it at 1080 how I have it set up for. We're not real sure why, but we're gonna chug through the podcast. It might be the last time I bring it up because I know it's distracting me. It's distracting me and it's distracting us from talking about the show. We definitely got to get Asa back on again when we're not having issues. I feel really bad when we have guests come on. And then, cause I know people are constantly leaving the stream. I'm seeing you guys leave because of the issues. And I do apologize about that. But we will continue moving forward. Go ahead, Snips.
I was just gonna say, people got to recognize the difference. Like an alpha thing in terms of software is not like getting into a party early or like getting to play a game first. What it is we're not entirely sure how this piece of software is going to work just yet. So we're going to test it with you guys.
Yeah.
So that means they're trying to fix it to make it work so that it's ready for everybody else. So yeah, if you're not down to be a part of that process, avoid those alpha builds and stuff like that on any software.
Do it on a backup console. Like I said, I won't do it on my Series X.
It's not a cool VIP thing. It's a, hey,
No.
we need to test this kind of thing.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? They really did package it real pretty, obviously because they do have to get enough consoles out there and test it. So I get it. And some of the perks were cool. Like I remember there were certain games that you had access to. They sweetened the pot, but God, man, I would have serious issues. But once again, it was something I signed up for. So just a warning shot to all those out there.
Hey, really quick, I want to ask who on the panel has a PS5?
I would have.
Oh man, that sucks. Oh, Asa, you have a PS5, correct? Yep. Okay, so I do want to transition really fast as we try to get to our next topic because we're having all these issues. So, Deathloop is a game that is made by Arcane Studios Austin, I believe. Which Arcane is part of Bethesda. Bethesda didn't partner with Microsoft. Bethesda was bought out by Microsoft. So theoretically, Arcane is a Xbox studio. A lot of the PlayStation quote-unquote insiders kind of got us all unnecessarily hyped up by saying this next State of Play is going to be Sony's answer to E3. But in reality, we're getting about 9 to 10 minutes of Deathloop along with some indie games. So as someone who has a PS5, because it looks like the way things are going right now, I won't get a PS5 because I won't buy from a scalper and they're hard to come by. And Deathloop probably won't be on Xbox for a year or so, depending on whatever the exclusivity deal Bethesda signed prior to their absorption into Microsoft. So Ace, as someone who has a PlayStation 5, are you looking forward to seeing more of Deathloop tomorrow? It's just tomorrow, correct?
Yeah, it's tomorrow. I'm not, because I already know that I want it. Like, I've already seen so much of Deathloop that I'm sold. And I feel like they do these state of plays. Like, this isn't the first time. Like, they do these state of plays where they're very focused on one game. Now, like, I feel like the Horizon Forbidden West, that was a little bit different because that's a game that's not out yet and we haven't seen a ton. But for games like Deathloop and a few of the games they've done in the past, it's like we've seen enough at this point. The game's about to come out. I think they did it with Ratchet and Clank, like not long before the release, and it's like the game comes out, in like a month or in a handful of
September
weeks, like,
September 14th, I believe.
Is it September? Okay, so like a couple months. I can wait a couple months. I want to see more. Like, what else do you have going on? God of War was pushed. Do you maybe have an updated trailer? What other games do you have planned for Q4 2021? Like Forbidden West, we know is potentially like December. I didn't think they gave us a hard date on that. So like, what else do you have coming out? Because the rest of your big hitters have already come and gone. So I feel like they can't just hang their hat on Deathloop and Forbidden West.
Now, see, we talked about this before, and I would love to get your opinion on this. Do you think this is the PlayStation format going forward? Because we haven't had a PSX. They don't do, the Gamescoms, the E3s anymore. But one thing we do get is state of plays, right? Like, I would love to get a state of play to where we're getting 20 minutes of just God of War. That would, super exciting, right? So, do you think this is the Sony quote unquote template moving forward when it comes to them showing things off?
I think this is their template because maybe I should take these off so I don't just hear positive things. I feel like PlayStation doesn't fully know like what they have going on. Like I feel like the issue with the games and like what they have coming out this year is a part of like a bigger problem. Like we don't know the cadence of when games are coming out. You're right. Like they've backed out of all of these big conferences. I feel like going all the way back to when they did the PS4 Pro announcement, that fell so hard and people did not care. And it was not the big step up like they said that it was going to be. And there's all this mixed messaging that like ever since that point, Sony's been like very coy with like the information that they're putting out. Like, I don't feel like they've had necessarily a beginning to end pure hits on fire state of play. Most of them have been B's or C's. Sometimes an A minus, like when they showed Final Fantasy 16, like that was great. That was great. But I feel like we're gonna keep getting this format because they need to keep being careful. Because they're not ready to like jump out of the gate. I know that there were rumors that PSX was coming back this year. And I feel like if that's the case, we're probably going to keep getting this format of state of play up until that point. And then maybe after that point, if they have like some big grandiose thing and they have this giant showcase at a theoretical PSX, that could possibly start them on a new cadence. But for right now, I feel like they're kind of stuck.
Do you in any way, shape, or form feel like Sony is maybe having, and I know this is weird to say because we know what to expect from them most of the time, or having some sort of identity crisis? It seemed like since Sean Layden left, Sony has been all over the place. We believe in generations, but hey, all of our games are going to be on PS4. We believe in our hardware, but then we see them go pick up, is it Nexus, the PC port developers? It's weird because we know what to expect from Sony. Big, AAA, story-driven, blockbuster cinema type games, right? But it's almost, I almost feel like as if they're having some identity crisis issues. Is it just me?
No, I don't think it's just you. I think they're having this crisis purely because Xbox bullied them into it. I feel like the PS4 won that generation because it was hit from beginning to end, pure hits, pretty much the entire time. The better infrastructure, so on and so forth. I feel like I probably play my Series X more than my PS5 right now. And it's mainly not because of like there's lack of games. I'm a PS Now subscriber. I've got plenty of games to play on my PS5. But that smart delivery, that we were just talking about
quick
resume. Yeah, those two features alone have been the things that have kept me on my Xbox. So I feel like, Microsoft has been thinking a completely different picture. I've been saying this a lot on a bunch of different podcasts. I feel like Microsoft is on another level. They're not in the traditional console space anymore. Their sights are set somewhere else. Like you see that with Game Pass and the big push that they have there. Like you even see, like we talked about the UI, like they did not change the UI. They didn't put too much into this glitz and glam. What did they focus on? They focus on just purely how does it run? How is it processing? So I feel like Sony being so focused on the software side, and even Jim Ryan said, hey, our focus from here on out is going to be these big AAA, quadruple A titles, these story-focused games. That is going to be Sony. We're going to have way more exclusives than we did on the PS4. Like, they say that, but then they do these other things. Like, they're starting to acquire studios, and they're putting up splash screens of, like, Blue Point, welcome to the PlayStation family. And it's clearly, like, I think instead of an identity crisis, it's more of like a cry for help. Like, they're trying to get on Xboxes on their level with that stuff, because if they can nail what Xbox has going with their studios, with their hardware, everything like that, they will be untouchable. They just will, because their exclusives, they already have that control.
And that's so weird to hear, Asa, because obviously, as we know, PlayStation is the market leader. They are the big worldwide brand. And it's so weird to see someone in their car in first place looking back, wondering, what they're doing back there, instead of them going forward, what they're doing. It's such a weird concept to me. I get it. You should be up to date with what your competition is doing. And we kind of gotten off track on the topic. But as you're talking, I'm just really thinking about, damn, the car in first place, instead of continue their first place lead, they're trying to figure out why the car in fourth place got past the car in third place, instead of just going head forward. It's really weird. And I do want to go to Baron, because I think it's an interesting concept on what Microsoft either purposely, or any shape, way, shape, or form are doing. Because we know MLB The Show, created by first party studio at Sony, MLB decided, hey, you had to go multiplat, and then there was marketing everywhere for MLB The Show on Xbox and on Game Pass. And now you got Deathloop, which was a big third-party exclusive for PlayStation. And now the talk of the town is that, hey, this state of play is being headlined by a quote-unquote Xbox studio.
Xbox.
Like, last generation, Sony was very upfront when they punched you in the face. They punched Microsoft in the face this is how you share games on PlayStation. It punched you in the face every chance they get, and I was there for energy, and I loved it. Microsoft is some sneaky little shit. Whether it's on purpose or not, they are punching Sony in the face with these type of things happening. What are your thoughts on that?
You know what? It's a cold game. I like to see the bite back, but I brought up the point quite a bit in the past. Phil Spencer said in his own words, like back, I want to say in like February 2020, they are no longer competing with Sony. Mm-hmm. They're competing with Google. They're competing with Amazon. He, in his own words, he said that, I'll make sure to shoot the link for it. But it's, and in seeing that, like, and remember, what do we used to joke about? Oh man, we're gonna buy a new TV, and all of a sudden it's gonna come with an Xbox controller and a free 3 months of Game Pass Ultimate. Mm-hmm. Like, we are, like, that is the next progression. Like, I want to say they did announce TVs coming with Game Pass already on the
They did.
Yeah, you're gonna buy a TV and it's gonna have a controller in it. But now thinking about I'm gonna get back to the point, my bad, but I'm thinking about the UI. Once again, going back to the UI, I'm glad they didn't change it, because, not glad, but I can see why they didn't change it, because it'll work great with a TV remote.
Man, like, it will.
You could get through the entire Xbox UI with a TV remote right now. No hesitation, no problems. Flow through it as if you're on the Amazon Fire Stick. Like, it wouldn't even, it's not that different at all. And it's genius, because once again, they're not competing against Sony and Nintendo. They're really trying to grab the global space of it. And they're doing it while not forgetting about the fact of still creating games. Now, with the sneakiness of getting to of kind of smearing it in Sony's face. It's a weird get down because we all know Phil. I don't think Phil would be above, like, if somehow magically on a magic planet it got greenlit that you could get Game Pass on PlayStation. Like, I don't think like I don't see them saying no. We wouldn't do it. No, they
they'll do it.
Everybody about
he'd probably
they would do
tell
it.
them they'd get 1 month free.
Yeah, now would Sony do it? Hell no. Sony wouldn't do it.
Never allow it.
Bro, but this is who we're dealing with. We're dealing with the Phil Spencer of the Xbox who would totally be open to that. Just like I'm still fingers crossed. Something's pulling at me. I think we're gonna get some type of altered version of Game Pass on the Switch. I don't know why.
It would have to be
when they were testing it.
It would have to be the cloud, like almost like on your phone.
Yeah.
It would have to be the
yeah. Bro, think about all those indie games on Xbox that would be great on the Switch. I mean, I can go down the list of ones I just played. Rain on Your Parade. I can see it. I mean, hell, Control and Hitman, or you can run it on the damn Switch.
Yep, through the
cloud. So there's nothing that's completely off the table. But Xbox, Microsoft, that's hilarious. I wonder how far in advance this was planned out. And I don't think the state of play was a short term, like something they just planned out recently, because.
But like Asa said, like Deathloop though, like a lot of people have seen enough of Deathloop
out of all the games.
To warrant their purchase. Like why Deathloop?
And then
like
Arcane Studios.
Do you have
what
nothing,
different are we? Like how much different are we going to get than freaking Dishonored? Like how much true variation are we going to get? Now, do I think it's going to be a complete Dishonored reskin? No. But it's made by those same people, so mechanically, I'm envisioning playing Dishonored, like the feel of Dishonored, just like whatever anybody else come up with, like Coalition, if they come out with a new game, and I'm imagining some type of Gears movement somewhere.
I'd be pissed.
Like I would be too, but I can. It's hard for me to not imagine it, like so. But yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry I cut you off.
No, I totally agree with Asa. As someone, I don't have a PS5 because I can't freaking find one. But I'm already sold like Asa. I'm sold on Deathloop. Like I'm sold on it. I don't need to see. It worries me that do you not have anything else coming for the rest of the year? Like what else? Like Horizon Forbidden West. We've already seen the state of play for it, and it still may not come out this year. I'm still thinking it's 2022. But like, dang, like
end of the year.
When you think about Sony first party, like, is there anything else releasing this year for you to be using this state of play, the state of play right after your competition had at E3 to show off Deathloop? Not saying Deathloop gonna be a bad game, something I'm excited to play for, but
yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah,
is this it? Are we waiting for 2022 before we get the next big PlayStation game? If it's not Horizon Forbidden West.
I feel like oh, go ahead.
No, dude. You're gonna talk all day. You got it.
I feel like this state of play is probably for some reason been planned like for a while, or they had some big game, wasn't quite ready to show off. PlayStation ran it through their cert. They're not gonna let it show in a bad state. Like Halo did that, and everybody trashed it. So like. There's the possibility, because I think it was State of Play last October, where it was leaked that the thing at the end was Far Cry 6, and it was leaked like a day or two before, and they didn't have time to pivot. So like, I feel like if for some reason Deathloop, which again, like it blows my mind that this again is their thing because Xbox just destroyed E3. It was the best showing out of the entire E3. If Deathloop was not the case, I could see that they probably switched it in because they know like Deathloop is a known entity. Everybody's excited for it. Arcane, it's probably done. I don't think it's gone gold yet, but like I imagine that they're like very much in the final stages. And I meant to say it earlier. I spoke to Adam Boyes. He came to an indie convention here in Columbus, Ohio. And,
that's dope.
Yeah, he talked about his time at Sony, and he talked about that moment that you brought up, Fame, about when he said, "All right, this is how you trade games with PlayStation 4." Did you know that they plan all of that like the night before?
Oh, I believe it. I believe it.
Adam was telling us that they had this entire plan for Sony's E3, but then they saw how Xbox bombed, and they just changed the script like right before it happened to take advantage of that. So like this isn't the same Sony as them because Sean Layden's gone. Obviously, Adam's gone. But it's not unlike Sony to like make these quick changes. So I think maybe Deathloop probably was not on purpose. I don't know.
You know what? I still wish would have been hilarious because it was still technically an Xbox and Bethesda E3. I wish the pettiness in me would have loved for Bethesda to show Deathloop at the Xbox Bethesda E3. That would have been hilarious.
You know what gets me? What's the sad thing about this? For PlayStation to seriously walk out on top and have the take over the internet moment bigger than what it's going to have already, is if they seriously just showed like a minute. You know how God of War ended, spoiler alert, how it ended with, the true ending with Thor, or at least we think it's Thor. It's Thor.
Yes.
If they just seriously showed that moment and had him walking up to Kratos, if they just showed that, like the camera panning from, I can't say,
we would lose our minds. We would lose our minds.
Yeah, that's all it would
Mjolnir.
Yeah, Mjolnir. That's all it would take is the camera pan out from Mjolnir and Thor start walking towards Kratos, and it would shut the house down.
That's the power of PlayStation. That's the power of PlayStation.
That's the power of PlayStation. And the fact that they don't tap into that is what bothers me and has me worried. My crazy thought, and I've said it on this show, and I'm shocked nobody's like crucified me over it yet. It would not shock me if 10 to 15 years Sony PlayStation goes the Sega route and becomes software only. It would benefit them. Yeah.
Look at Asa's face like.
Oh yeah, Asa, let me tell you why. We know for a fact they're good. They're doing good sales wise, right? They selling all these consoles, everything's going good. Imagine how much more money they would have made if they didn't have to spend all that money on this console that they're already going to have to make a revamp for because you got to open it up to add external hardware or memory. And so we already know they got to come up with a system refresh quickly. Like we know this because how many times is the warranty going to be voided by somebody busting open their case and accidentally nick something, adding in the certified external hard drive?
That was like a quick
dad mode.
Oh, that was like I was like
The tear on my eyes.
Okay, just sit right there.
Poor baby.
Baron, what did you do?
Give her what she want, Baron. Whatever she need, give it to her.
My daughters are fighting.
She want gummies, give it to her.
Right? Hey, no, but what's like real talk? They would just kill hand over fist. Like we know they make great games. If the only reason you're buying the PlayStation 5, because PlayStation Now subscribers, is it a lot? Hey, so you're like one of the few people I know who have one. We all know the subscription service is where the money's at. I still believe that in 10 to 15 years, it would not shock me if they go the Sega route because they're doubling down on consoles when clearly Xbox ain't even trying to sell its consoles. They're trying to sell its Game Pass. That's clearly the wave. Everything we do from movies, Disney, we only want to go to the movies. We want to just pay the $30 to watch the special edition, whatever, extra movie. Netflix completely changed the way we watch TV. I don't even like week-to-week stuff anymore. I wait and I binge. It would not shock me if that became the progression years down the line. It wouldn't shock me at all. Because remember, Sega was on top of the world. Like,
yeah. Sega was ahead of their time.
Yeah.
The Dreamcast, and people weren't ready for it. And then there were some other issues there too.
Sure.
But I don't think that's going to happen. I think if anything, what you will see, and we're already seeing it now with PS Now, and we're even seeing games like, I just saw that Horizon's on sale in the Epic Store. Like, I feel like we're going to start to see just a more regular cadence of a PC crossover. there is no way. Baron, there is no way. And I hate to diverge the show, but there's no way that Sony's ever going to do that. Nintendo tried to do that at the very beginning when they were making the Nintendo 64. That's how PlayStation came to be, because they couldn't figure out what they wanted to do. They were arguing too much, and they broke off and did their own things. From that very moment, they had cemented, we are doing our thing. So I don't think that they will ever give up the hardware. Look at that. I made them leave.
Made them cry. But listen,
my point was so right.
Normally, we would keep the show going with our suggestions, but I'm gonna go ahead and stop the stream because we're having so many issues. I do apologize, Asa. I would love to get you back on the show when we're not having all of these issues, brother. I do apologize for everybody who stuck around and watched or watching it later at lv1gaming.com. The replay won't be so pretty. I do apologize, but hopefully things are back up and fixed tomorrow for take 2. Listen. We run shows 6 days a week. On Monday, 15 Minutes of Fame. Tuesday, Cogs in the Machine. Wednesday, WSP Podcast. Thursday, Take 2. Friday, Peep Game. And Saturday, Ready, Press Play. I am adding all of Asa's social media stuff in the description down below. Make sure you guys will give him a follow. We will have him back on as soon as possible. And once again, we do apologize for all the technical issues that we are having. With all that said, congratulations. You guys leveled up to 162. This was the Double XP Podcast. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.